The number one show I know that we all agree on is Break the Bank with X Lerk and Deion.
And we got the MVP.
Mahomes.
Rodgers.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that later. So we got Mahomes. Best you're gonna get him is at plus 650. Joe Burrow plus 750. Allen plus 850. Justin Herbert plus 1200 along with Jalen Hurts. Then you got Lamar Jackson plus 18. I mean plus 16 along with Aaron Rodgers. Eggs, you really believe in Aaron Rodgers this year? Cause you mentioned him winning rookie. MVP last week, and I didn't. I mean MVP last week, and I didn't say nothing. But now you're saying it again. Like you really running with this.
I trust the skill position players. Now that O line is questionable, but I don't know. I just feel like I think he was a little bit checked out in Green Bay personally. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he took a pay cut this season, like a huge pay cut to try and build up that team. I think that he got one more FU season in him. You know what I'm saying? I do. So I do believe in him.
Mahomes.
I like Mahomes for this.
What's Allen's odds?
Plus 800.
I don't hate that either.
Yeah, X, you remember he signed a contract extension, right?
Who?
With the Jets.
Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he restructured his deal to lower the cap over year one so that they could go out and sign some more players.
He apparently said today he's gonna play like 3 to 5 more years.
He signed with the Jets through 2025 right now. That's probably gonna get restructured again eventually, but he signed with the Jets through 2025 as of now. So maybe he plays out this contract and retires. Maybe he restructures it, plays a little longer. But if I'm not mistaken, he said he wanted to end his career there, right?
Yeah, he said he said he said he's gonna play a few more years, something like that.
Oh, so my bad. Allen is plus 850, not plus 800.
I don't hate Josh
You
Allen.
can get it anywhere from 7 to 850, but DraftKings has the best odds at 850.
I don't hate Josh Allen. I think with the whole DeMar Hamlin situation, they're gonna be at the front and center, like media wise. And typically that's how these awards go, right? Which the Rodgers pick, if he plays well, you could say the same thing about. But these awards are typically like narrative driven, and I think Allen's gonna get the narrative this year. They're gonna try to, for sure.
They'd have to dominate that division in order for him to get it.
I don't know. Oh, I just think if you can win 11 or 12 games in that division, which is probably going to be seen as the best in football, maybe the AFC North, I guess. But if you can win 11 or 12 games, you play well, DeMar Hamlin is going to be talked about every single week. Like if he makes a tackle, it's going to be SportsCenter top 10 for the rest of for this whole year, right? So like you're going to have the national media behind you as a team.
If DeMar Hamlin was the quarterback, I'd agree with you wholeheartedly. I understand where you're coming from, but I think that the media is gonna love Aaron Rodgers bringing the Jets back to relevancy way more as a narrative. Like, I think he has a much better shot at winning the MVP than Josh Allen.
It's the same thing.
I don't think the hill is as steep for him to get there.
Nah, I think it's the same exact thing. Like it's the same thing. Like you're banking on national media with either player. So it's like, which team do you think's gonna be better? I guess.
I don't think the Jets have to be like dominant for him to get it. They just have to be really good. I don't think they have to dominate that division.
Well, what's really good?
Playoff contender.
I'm talking. Yeah, playoff contenders. They don't even got to be Super Bowl
contender.
And I'm talking. And when I say dominant, I'm talking about just the division. I don't mean across the board. Like as I was saying, like
how many games? How many games do you think like they have to win?
10.
General, 10. They just got to win 10 games. 10.
So you think
they good?
You think Rodgers winning 3 more games? Who's the quarterback last year?
A few different people.
Zach Wilson?
So Rodgers winning 3 more games than Zach Wilson is gonna get him MVP.
Yes, because the
Damn,
media
bro,
is
damn, don't act like you're brand new to
about.
this, bro. Like they did Hard Knocks for a reason. Fucking
Yeah.
if Aaron Rodgers farts, it's leading.
Yo,
fucking-
right now, all everybody's
Like-
talking about is Hard Knocks and how much more excited the team looks just because they got a good quarterback, bro. Like
I agree.
I understand where you're coming from with the Hamlin argument. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't completely agree with it because I feel like they're gonna eat up this Rodgers and the Jet shit way more. Like if Hamlin was the quarterback, maybe. But I feel the Bills, I don't see Josh Allen winning MVP with 11 wins. I could see Aaron Rodgers winning MVP with 11 wins.
Here's the thing. The media loves to love and they love to hate. If you are Aaron Rodgers and you don't beat the Bills this year, you don't win that division, you're gonna get hate.
But see, he could go 1-1 against the Bills.
But you gotta win the division.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you gotta be as dominant as like I feel like the Bills need to be. Like I personally like
bro, the Bills.
get
If the Bills
everything.
had the exact same season they had last season, win a division, nobody gives a crap. You know what I'm
If the
saying?
Bills win 13 games this year in that division, he's winning the damn MVP.
Winning 13 games and bringing his turnovers down, I think that helps him. And winning that division helps him tremendously. And I think that the odds are in his favor to win it. But I don't think Rodgers has to do all that in order to win MVP. And that's just my whole shit.
I get that, but I'm just saying because they're in the same division, if you don't win that division, if you're Aaron Rodgers, because the way they're hyping the Jets up, everything you said is true, but it's because they haven't played yet, right? If the moment they lose, it's a different ballgame. Like now we're not. It's the New York media at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So like 10 wins, like I'm not saying that's a bad season. I personally, if the Jets win 10 games, I'd say that's a really good season.
I don't even think they
get 10.
I think they have to win at least 11, and he has to throw at least like 30 touchdowns.
Yeah,
which isn't saying much anymore in today's football. 30 is not like outlandish, but win 11 games, 30 touchdowns. You know he's not going to throw that many picks. So as long as the offense looks like they lit a fire under their ass and they win the division, the MVP is his. Or it could be, because I still think it's Mahomes to lose. But I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, I don't like the value at plus 16. Like, I think he has a much better chance of winning MVP over Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Josh Allen. And Joe Burrow, I'm not really a fan of winning this award given the calf injury. I think he's going to have a really slow start to the season. Is he even clear to play full? Is he a full go yet? Do you know?
I don't. But so who's the last MVP that didn't win their division?
That what?
If you had to guess, who's the last MVP that didn't win their division?
Off the top of my head, I would probably say
I think it's Sean Alexander in 2005.
Like if you're talking, but
because I'm looking at the list right now.
But they're not. But he's not a quarterback though.
Yeah, so the last quarterback that might have done it is
wins are a quarterback stat according to everybody. So
yeah, I don't know if there's a quarterback like not in this generation. So the Mahomes won his division last year. Rodgers always wins the NFC North. Lamar won his. Mahomes like.
All right, so you're telling me
one of the best teams in the league.
So let's say he wins 12, 13 games, but he goes 2-4, 3-3 in his division. You think he still wins MVP?
Does he win the division?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I disagree.
Who, Rodgers or Allen?
Allen.
Well,
Rodgers, I think he does.
I'm saying if it's just him and Rodgers, exclude Lamar, exclude Mahomes, I think those two are probably like, that's probably where the MVP is going to go, is to like one of those two. I like the odds with Allen at plus 700 just because of the narrative aspect of it.
Plus 850.
Or plus 850 just because of the narrative aspect of it and because Burrow's not playing. But if it's just Rodgers and Allen, the winner of the AFC East will get the MVP because no one wins the MVP without winning their division. It just doesn't happen.
You compel me to sprinkle money on a couple different people.
Here's my question about the Bills. Here's my question about the Bills. Low key. I don't think they're as good. I think Josh Allen's greatness allows them to cover up for the fact that they still don't have a consistent pass rush, right? Now, it didn't matter because they were facing Tua and fucking Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? And like in that division and fucking Mac Jones. They weren't going to get burned by it. That's going to look a lot different if it's Aaron Rodgers back there that you're giving a lot of time to. And so if he's able to shine in those two games and put up like crazy numbers, which he can, I don't know. I think that's enough to shift the narrative in his favor, right? Because he's gonna rack up passing yards, he's gonna rack up passing TDs, and I think the opportunity's there. And honestly, I think the Bills take a step back. I just think they were smooth sailing the last few years in that division. There was nobody that could really test them ever since Brady left. Like, what's been smooth sailing? You know what I'm saying? I think Rodgers is a different beast. I think he's a different beast.
I don't disagree with that.
And if they're automatically getting 5-6 wins in the division each year, I think that inflated their record. And look at a lot of those games. Their margin of victory wasn't. You can probably look it up, Lerk. This might be one of those X stats, but
yeah, I feel like that's definitely an X stat. And I also want to point out that if it wasn't for the Tua concussion, the division standings probably look a lot different.
But do you feel like how was it? Well, as a game,
but they won the division by 4 games. They covered the spread often.
I could tell you
they won the division by 4 games.
They what?
They won the division by 4 games last year.
No, I'm talking about against the spread.
No, I'm saying Lerk's talking about the Tua concussion being the only reason that the Bills.
No, I didn't say it was the only reason. I said it could have.
It looked different. They won it by 4 games.
All right. What's your
point? So the Bills.
How much time did Tua miss?
Guys, the Bills had a record of 8-10 against the spread in 2022, which goes to my point. You think that they were blowing a lot of these teams out? They weren't, and that's because their defense was just bad enough to keep other teams in the game.
What you said their record was?
8-10 against the spread.
Oh shit!
So that's what I'm saying.
That includes the playoffs, obviously. Huh? That obviously includes the playoffs.
Yeah.
No.
It has to.
Oh yeah, it has to because they got eliminated in the first round, right? So yeah, it was 18 games.
Also, Tua missed 3 games last year.
Well, I mean, in one of them, you can't really count either. The game got canceled in like the first quarter.
Okay, so they were 8-8 against the spread. The whole point is they weren't as dominating as you would like to think that they are, and that's because I think they're a little bit overrated, and I think Rodgers bridges that gap, and so that's why I give Rodgers a better chance.
I'm gonna be honest, everything you just said, I agree with and I respect. It's also exactly why Josh Allen is the better MVP candidate for the same reason Mahomes won it last year. Just when we think these teams are about to take a step back, we get reminded how much better Allen, Mahomes, Burrow are than the rest of the pack. And that's why I think if he does win 12 to 13 games and he wins that division, I think you have to give it to him or Mahomes.
Yeah,
but if Rodgers wins the division, I take it back. Like the winner of the AFC East should be in the MVP conversation, right? Regardless, if the Dolphins win it, Tua should be in the comp.
And you hate Tua, so for you to say that, that means that you really being objective.
The toughest division in football, by far. It's that in the AFC North. How could you not have one of if you are able to win one of those 2 divisions? How could you not be in the combo?
And I just want since we brought up records against the spread, I just want to throw out that the Jets were under 500 against the spread as well. They had the same record, if I'm not mistaken, as the Bills, and that had definitely changed with Rodgers. But also, Mahomes had an even worse record at 8-11.
Oh, trust me, I know.
8-12, if you want to count the push as a loss, then 8-12, and we all know Mahomes is one of the worst quarterbacks against the spread, but he also won 2 of the last 4 MVPs.
Listen, the spread thing doesn't hit the same as it does in basketball, just because when you're Josh Allen and you're Mahomes, your spread's going to be so inflated. Like I'd be more
the Chiefs more so. The Chiefs more so.
But I'd be more curious how many of those games the Bills were 9-point favorites and they were covering, and then when the defense took a drive off with 2 minutes left and the other team scores, and then you kneel it out type of thing, right? Like that happens to Mahomes a good amount. I'm sure it happens to Allen too. I don't know it to be a fact, but when you get those massive numbers in football, it just doesn't hit the same the way it does in basketball.
No, I agree. I brought those numbers up for that very reason to show that.